God's economy is you find a problem, you create a solution that you can charge for, and you've got a business. See, God's economy's always been about expanding the pie, where man's economy is contracting the pie. Many people believe that the more people they are, the less there is for them. That was Cain's mistake. You see, the first investment ever recorded in scripture is in Genesis chapter 4. Many of you remember the story between Cain and Abel. And Cain, many Jewish scholars believe that around this time, Adam and Eve were already advanced in their age, and Cain went to Abel and said they went into the field, scripture says. And then it says Cain talked to Abel. Then the next scripture was, then Cain killed Abel. And I've always wondered, what did Cain said to Abel that maybe might have triggered him, might have set him off? And the story or the teaching of this scripture in Genesis chapter 4 is very pivotal. And you have to look at the name. See, Cain, his name means acquisition, to acquire. In a modern word is a taker. So Cain's job was he was a taker. He wanted to acquire. Many Jewish scholars believe that Cain believed that his parents were about to pass. And he told Abel, hey, when mom and dad minds, but I'll let you. Scholars believe that Abel said, no, 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 no. We're going to split it in half, 50-50. You take half the earth, I take the other half. And many people believe that that's where anger rose in Cain, and he killed his brother Abel. Now, the story gets even very, very interesting as you go down a few scriptures. It talks about how Cain has a son, names him Enoch. Then later on in 2 or 3 scriptures later says, then Cain builds a city and called it Enoch. Now, the story is this in Genesis chapter 4 is, if God told Cain, I will banish you, you will plant, but yet not harvest. You will build, yet people will not dwell in that land. Why would you build a city? It makes no sense. And the key to this scripture in Genesis chapter 4 is the word Enoch. Enoch, if you look at the root word, means now educated, meaning Cain saw the error in his fault, meaning a city is a place where people do commerce. A city, if you notice, I'm from New York City originally, and New York City is one of the smallest areas, but it's so compact and buildings go up. The reason why God likes cities is because he wants to ensure that he has a family. How do you ensure you have a family? Is that everyone needs each other. And cities are a place where you can actually grow, where you can partner, where you can communicate. That's why cities are very important. That's why many people who try to do the lone wolf warriors and stuff like that, many of those places don't grow. And when you look at the story of Cain and Abel, you start seeing how God taught Cain a lesson. And in the name, he called them Enoch, the city now educated. The story is that Cain saw the error of his ways. He thought that by killing Abel, he would inherit the whole earth. The lesson that God was trying to teach Cain here is this: the more people they are, the bigger the pie gets. You see, many people, they want to keep stuff away from others or like keep things a secret. But God's saying, no, the more people are, the more things will grow. That's why you see many businesses who do strategic partnerships. So when you look at that, partnerships is God's equation. It's saying, let's go partner up because you have something that I don't have. I have something that you don't have. And together we could become whole. And that's the thing. It's where you start seeing that there's a Hebrew word called shalem. Shalem means make us whole. That story, that word shalem comes with actually in a very difficult story. I think it was Genesis chapter 37. It was between Judah and his daughter-in-law. So Tamar, when she was raped, and they started talking about how those people, they came in and he says they will shalem with us, meaning they will make us whole. See, God is a God of connections. See, that's why you take a piece of bread and a chicken and you got a chicken sandwich. You take a hamburger, put cheese, you got a cheeseburger. It's about